Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining our webinar today. We are going live on YouTube as well as on site here in Taipei, and today we are going to talk about fintech. We have a fantastic lineup of speakers today with agendas such as keynotes, panel discussion, and pitch demo by 8 fintech-related startups. Hopefully, you will find them interesting and inspire more international collaborations in the near future. Before we move into our program, I just want to thank Gloria for making this event possible. If you're not familiar with Gloria, it stands for Global Research and Institute Alliance, a project under the Ministry of Science and Technology here in Taiwan. The aim of this project is to reduce the gap between academic and industry, to incubate or facilitate the startup ecosystem, to encourage international collaboration and increase business opportunities. Currently, Gloria is 3 years old and at the end of phase 1, which has 20 universities participating and has spin off 118 startup companies so far. Soon, we'll move into phase 2, where participating universities will operate in clusters according to their strengths. There are 4 universities participating today by recommending teams to pitch. Please allow a few minutes for me to introduce the universities. Firstly is the National Taiwan University, the NTU. The university is equipped with a fintech center that specializes in research such as blockchain, cryptocurrency, machine learning, and much more, providing a comprehensive research environment with outstanding industry relationships for startups. Especially their connections can help with next generation, such as the collaboration with Yuanda, a famous financial organization, to hold the Yuanda Cup EMBA competition. Secondly, the National Genji University, the NCCU. The NCCU enters the fintech industry by trying to provide a better user experience. The NCCU is deeply connected with the industry and provides workable solutions for the financial industry. Since their participation with Gloria, they have provided hundreds of fintech talents to more than 500 corporations. Also, they help to support many public fintech issues, such as Open Banking 2.0 program, which is now in phase 2. Also, keep providing consulting services to TSP members in Taiwan. Third, Zhongyuan Christian University, the CYCU, one of the newer members to the Gloria, joining only 1.5 years so far, but already pushing for 200 industry collaboration success cases. While they are usually well known for smart manufacturing, automation, big data, they utilize those domain knowledge into fintech. CYCU in total has incubated for more than 200 businesses, and of which 8 of them are now stock market listed companies. And now finally, National Tsinghua University, the NTHU, taking advantage of their great foundation of R&D, engineering, and IT technology. They are ready to integrate into fintech. So far, they have already organized Industry Academia Alliance for Internet Financial Innovation and collaborate with powerful partners such as Quantum Tech and Trading Valley Incorporated by using core technologies such as credit and evaluation, robo-advisor, and many others. So now, if you have any questions or comments, please use the link provided in the YouTube description and survey sheet on your seat. Please feel free to engage with us should you wish to learn more. Now, without any further ado, I would like to introduce our very first keynote speaker, Dr. Huang. He is the co-PI of Industry Academia Alliance for Internet Financial Innovation of National Tsinghua University. Professor, the floor is yours. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you for having me here. It's my great pleasure to make some presentation about what we do. And of course, I will introduce who we are at National Tsinghua Universities for the development of fintech. Okay, my name is Huang. I'm from Department of Quantitative Finance as well as Mathematics, so-called joint appointment from both departments. I also wear a special T-shirt today to show my support for all fintechs, companies, and startups. Good. So let me start with some introduction about the alliance that we do on campus. And then I would talk about a little bit challenges and opportunities of fintech in Taiwan in particular. And then I will introduce some cases. All right. So under the support of most, the introducers who just give some introduction, most is a brief of Ministry of Science and Technology in Taiwan. So our alliance is the most founded organization for mainly for industry academia collaborations. Our mission is there are two missions. The first one is to promote the use of technology for fintech to create innovations and to maintain our industry's competitiveness. And then the second, I think is more importantly, is to cultivate our fintech talents. And of course, the name of our alliance is so-called Internet Financial Innovation Alliance. So use NetFin for easy memories. Okay. Our team members include 4 professors. The first one, our PI is Professor Yu. He's also my colleagues from quantitative finance, and he's an expert of econometrics. So he mainly work on banking area. And I'm the second one. My specialty is financial engineering. I also work on investment. And the third PI is Professor Sun from computer science. And his specialty is cybersecurity. And the last one is also my colleague at quantitative finance. Professor Sai is an expert of insurance. Our partners, our industry partners, has to be equipped with those 4 simple principles we call ABCD principles. First one, they must be interested in on the use of AI, machine learning technologies. Might be interested in or already work on blockchain related area. And the third one is cloud-based platform. They have to have such a platform so we can easily work together. And the last one are for those companies who are interested in for digital transformations. All right. Currently, under this alliance, we have 16 members, including 3 financial fund holdings. There are Kesei, Yenda, and Yusan. And also 2 subsidies companies, investment or banks. Okay, good. Sorry. And we also have some SME companies, some one VC, one P2P lending and mutual insurance, one blockchain companies, and 3 3 companies working on health management, and 4 companies working on investment, and 1 NPO. Our management strategy include 2 ways, 2 approaches. But basically, the concept is bottom up. We wish our company, our partners, our members, they are interested in our some technology developed from the university. So this is the part we call vertical integration through a research project, joint research project, and technology transfer. And we can work with our partners so that the university can transfer our knowledge to those companies. And the second one is so-called ecosystem, the concept of ecosystem. Through the collaboration, possible collaboration between these companies, and so they can solve for their funding issues. They can have better media exposure. We think the participating ecosystem of large institutions could be a very efficient way to achieve those goals. And this picture was taken from last year's activity that we do with KPMG. In that event, we host Taiwan Fintech Forum. So here in the picture, the former FSC chairman and many guests participated in this pretty big event. There are some challenges as well. In particular in Taiwan, I think for the development in fintech development. Of course, all these companies, they have to have some basic qualifications. That include, I'm sorry, the fonts may be too small for you, but I will read it for you. So companies should be equipped with competitiveness of products and pricing, and they should have some sort of customer experience and satisfaction. And they should have clear marketing or their sales targeting. If they have underwriting, have some sort of concrete results, that would be even better. So those are the basic requirements for our participants. Also in Taiwan, because of the regulation, even law, requirements are quite restricted. So I think this is typically a lot of our alliance members, they talk most about how could they obey those, how to do compliance in such a way. And of course, our partners, if they want to do, in Taiwan, they want to do services, they have two choices. One is for B2B, the other one is B2C. On the perspective of B2B, of course, then that means those companies, those startups, they serve for financial institutions, local institutions, but the big problem is that the market size is quite limited. So this is a difficulty or a challenge. If they go down the direction of B2C, and typically the cost of customer acquisition is pretty high. So those are issues that we collect from our members. They care most about, and those are typically challenges, obstacles for fintech companies developing in Taiwan. All right. So last, let me show two cases. We think they are quite successful, so we want to share about. One company, so this is their product, MedNet. This is the largest online physicians consultation platform in Taiwan. They focus on global Chinese-speaking people. Why? Because the service here they provided are for medical consultation. So they have 34 specialists, and they have over 1,700 doctors online to answer all kinds of questions. They have 30,000 consultants, 100 million views. So if you're interested, you can scan this QR code to know about these companies. And in particular, after COVID-19, their flow is extremely high and already received many investors' interest. The other one is for investment. So this is a company called Growing, a product called Growing. If you're also, you can scan on this QR code. And this is an AI and quantitative model-based intelligent, they develop this kind of systems for wealth management. It is also the largest robo-advisor companies in Taiwan. Their goal is to serve for global investors, sorry. So they have a service in the US as well. And so this is an AI-driven company. They provide stable, low volatility returns, and etc. All right, so I'm finished here. I would like to pay my thanks to many companies they worked with us before. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. So a little bit of reminder for you is that because now we are doing a live stream online right now, so whenever you come up the stage, please look directly into the camera and please do not applaud when the speaker is finished. Thank you very much. Okay, so for keynote number 2, we have Professor Ming Hwashi. He holds 3 director positions at the National Chengchi University, namely at the Risk and Insurance Research Center, College of Commerce, the Digital Finance Innovation Lab, and at the AI Innovation Lab. He is also the independent director of Transglobe Life Insurance. Professor, you have 10 minutes. The stage is yours. Please.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's an honor to have a speech here. So today, I have 10 minutes, so I'm going to talk about the current status of fintech and financial service industry. And at the end, I will give some suggestions for local fintech startup. Okay, so this is today's talk agenda. So I talk about some challenge faced by financial service industry and some trend in financial service. And finally, I will give some suggestions. So I think fintech is come with technology. So it comes with the technology, it can disrupt the whole industry. So I think the 2 main technology is AI and blockchain. I think today's startup company, most of them, they use these 2 types of technologies. So they are very similar to the disrupt innovation technology we are familiar with, like smartphone or internet. I separate them in 2 groups because for AI, it's very similar, like they integrate the old techniques, but now they can create the disruptive power. And for the blockchain, it's very similar to internet. It's a platform, but it can redefine a lot of industries. So disrupt innovative technology, they redefine industry. So I think from quite a few famous cases, like Nokia, this company was very successful and it disrupted by smartphone. And Kodak is so popular. I think everybody can see their store on every street in the past. But now they are all being disrupted because of the digital camera. And similarly for Blockbuster, the similar situation. But as we can see now, they are replaced by streamline technology like Netflix. Okay. So the next idea I want to talk about is the retailers' challenges. So let's look at some facts. So starting in 2015, there's more than 100 bankruptcy in US, including so many famous brands like Neiman Marcus, JCPenney, or like a famous clothing store like Blues Brothers and so on. And like a big rental car company like Hertz, or famous food chain Demand DeLuca. So these are all being disrupted by new technology. And their main competition is from different players. They utilize the digital power. So they use digital channel, digital technology. And I think for the reason for the bankruptcy, some is caused by black swan like COVID-19, but it's because these old brands, they in their industry, but they didn't know there's a big wave coming, so they didn't prepare for it. So we can learn from this. But not all of these companies waiting for being disrupted. For example, such as Walmart, he is successful in this regard. So he equipped himself with this new technology. So you can see from his past 5 years stock price, actually double its stock price. So what types of technology they are using? They actually, they focus on their core business. They try to automate all of the customer process. And so they use all of the familiar technology we just hear from Professor Han, like cloud technology, or AI-based technology like machine learning or reinforcement learning. And even for blockchain, they use it for full supply chain. So they try to use all of the new technology to improve their business. And even for COVID-19, they develop express delivery and pickup. So customer can have the privilege, have early delivery or pickup if they subscribe as a member. So they also apply the subscription economy. So they apply new technology. They also apply new business strategy. So that's how you can be success in these situations. And now they can look at the financial service industry challenges. The first challenge is from big tech company. So here I use the insurance industry, for example. So for example, Apple Care is the very successful insurance product. Okay, so they use the situation to sell their insurance product. So Apple know how to sell insurance. And Google now also start to sell insurance. They just announced in August, they start selling medical insurance for companies, medical insurance. And for Amazon, they have provided insurance product for a long time. They started in British. And now they also acquire a digital insurance company called Echo. And this is, I think last year they invest 65 millions, and now the valuation is to 300 millions. So this is a very successful insurance company. And also in mainland China, for the Ant Financial Insurance, okay, I think at the beginning of this year, we visited Ant Financial Insurance. Within 1 year, they have the insurance premium up to 100 billion renminbi. So, and for their counterparty, like a big insurance company, they might take 10 to 20 years to achieve this market size. The second challenge is from digital insurance company. Okay, so there's already a lot of successful insurance company. They just use all digital channels. They don't have any agent or any physical channels. And now they are doing a new way in business for insurance contract. Okay, and so there's two important reports talk about this situation. The first one is, I think PwC last year, they talk about the technology industry and the financial service companies converge. So the main thing is that, the main thing is that technology, they all apply financial service license now. And like JP Morgan or BlackRock, they all announced they are technology company. So in the future, these two, the borderline between this industry will become very vague. And also the global digital banking is growing very fast. You can see from last year's, the investment amount is almost doubled. And also, they already acquired customers, more than 54 million account in total for the basic product. And also, now they focus on from B2C to B2B business model. There's quite a few. There are quite a few new startup. They focus on B2B. Okay. I think this is just a summary. These are important technology need to be used by Fintech to help financial industry service industry can face the new challenge. And here I want to focus on one thing. It's called chatbot. It's because this is also related to the artificial intelligence. Okay, so it still belongs to the AI and blockchain technology areas. And the API is related to open banking, a new trend. So this is also important. And I think currently, locals, financial institution, they need to build their IT infrastructure because some of them are not digitalized yet. That will prevent them to be purely digitalized. So the next few slides, I just want to list some possible scenario that fintech staff can help financial institution to have a better financial service. These are some of the possible ways. So I just list here for your reference because I think the time is up. Okay. And this is the last slide. I want to give some suggestions. The first for fintech startup is very difficult to acquire customers. So this is the one key issue. And the second one is business models. I think a fintech startup need to think about the strategy. How to? I think later we have roundtables. I will say more about this. And the other two key points I want to mention is you need to focus on pain point of customer or financial institution. And finally, new technology is quite popular for young generation. So this is the generation you should focus on. Okay, this concludes my talk. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. So now for keynote number 3, we are pleased to introduce Dr. Ke Wong. He is the founder and the chairman of Taiwan Fintech and the founding chairman of Taiwan Fintech Association and the governor of the application promotion group of Taiwan Blockchain Alliance. Professor, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ke Wong, and I'm very happy to be here. Okay, today I'm going to talk about the future of finance, in particular on a potential disruptive model, which I call open ecosystem model for developing the fintech. Okay, every industry, every company is affected by the global trend, whether you like it or not, including financial industry. So I would spend a minute on what happened in the last 70 years. The first, starting from 1950-60, this is the product paradigms, where the name brand bring their product to globally. So we call it globalization. So at this stage, the key mechanism they use is supply chain, okay? So when internet comes around, e-commerce become popular. So I call this paradigm innovation paradigm, basic service innovation, okay? And in service innovation, the differentiator or competitiveness is different from the product paradigm. In product paradigm, it's features, price, IP rights, and also brand recognition, and it's the key competitiveness. But in the innovation paradigm, you can see that a platform, right, becomes important, and the business model innovation is important. So free services or subscription-based services, or what we call somebody else pay the fees for the users, right? And you can see that in the first phase of the globalization, the big companies, like the oil company, steel company, technology giants like IBM were the biggest companies in the world. But you can see that most of them are not in the top 10 companies in the last 20 years. And I think the previous two speakers had talked about the disruption of the technology. And if the business model did not follow up, then they would lost that. Okay. And the newest disruption comes from two things. One is I call the API ecosystem. The leader of this is Salesforce.com. So if you look at Salesforce.com's stock performance, you will see that a company with $14 billion revenue has a much higher market value than IBM, SAP, Oracle, Intel. And it's actually worth more than 2.4 times the value is 2.4 times higher than IBM, which have service, technology, hardware, software, all combined, okay? And the key thing that it uses is this what we call the API ecosystem, which the API economy, because it's not just the company itself, but the ecosystem they build around themselves becomes very powerful. Salesforce ecosystem has 1 million people in it. That means there are 1 million people help them to sell their products every day. Okay, and another model which is newer is what I call the open ecosystem. This is after the PSD2 and GDPR and what we call the My Data regulation comes into play. So the data owner is not just the big techs. In the future, how do you acquire data becomes a key competitiveness. And my conjecture is that the big tech will lost the challenge because they were too confined themselves. So in this paradigms, you can see that the ecosystem enabling platform becomes important. And also, in the past 3 generations, customers are outside their core system. Like in this case, supply chain, but here, this is the platform ecosystem, right? But here is open ecosystem where customer is one of the key stakeholders, which drive the demand and also drive the other services. And then on the other hand, we can see that financial industry is one of the industries that progress the slowest. You can see that from 1400 to 1960, the business model is almost the same, right? 600 with very little progression. But in the since the 1960s, what happened is IBM mainframe becomes available. So we get into the digital banks era. And then after the internet becomes important, then internet banking, and then mobile banking, and now we call open banking or open finance. So you can see that the last 70 years progression is aligned very well with the industry changes because they are all affected by the key technologies that drive these changes, okay? Okay, so what is Fintech? To me, Fintech is an inclusive financial service. It's talking about the segment that the traditional financial institutes don't serve or cannot serve because of the cost and other factors, okay? So to the financial institute, this is a new segment, new customers, new business models, and they need new technology, new process, etc. to handle. And everything I just talked about is very expensive and difficult to change. And that's why financial institutes have lots of challenges in adopting Fintech. On the other hand, the startups, they are very good at technology, but they face significant hurdle in addressing the issues because, first of all, financial is a highly regulated industry. So it's very difficult for staff to get into it. And so what we think the best way to implement Fintech is for financial industry and Fintech company to work together in that open innovation system, okay? And which address the customer issues, everyday's life or everyday company operation issues that will produce the maximum effect. And also, we need new data for the financial services to be provided. If we use the old data, the financial history, the historical data, then the older obstacle remains the same. So fusion of financial industry with the other industry to get new data, that will be also important, okay? I think the key trend in the future of financial service are, one, as I mentioned earlier, my data. How do you get my data? How do you give the rights of the data back to the consumer and the data producer, okay? And secondly, open. Open ecosystem economy will drive the future. And that's, we can see that right now the largest companies in the world are all the best companies. They are the best cloud-based companies, the platform companies in the world. But if they don't adopt the open economy model, they are likely to be disrupted by this new model. And also decentralization. This is the foundation of blockchain and also the future of finance. And then omnichannel and smart. These are the AI-enabled and also different channels to get to your customers, okay? And traditional financial model basically has a core banking system and retail, the branches. But in the future, branches will gradually replaced by the fintech applications that are provided by many other companies that traditionally are not in the financial industries. And they will collaborate with the financial industry to provide the services to the customers. And if the financial industry does not get into this kind of operation model, then these companies will just replace the financial industry, okay? Let me spend a few minutes to talk about Fusion 360, my company. Okay, my company was funded 4.5 years ago to enable Taiwan in the open ecosystem for fusion, for fintechs, because we believe that fintech is basically the fusion of financial and other industry. So we are trying to build a platform that enable the financial industry and other industry to collaborate. Our major goal is to lower the barrier for data, analytic, and financial services. And I think these are the cornerstone for fintech. Okay, and there are many issues need to be addressed. And I think that for any fintech company who want to get into this business, they need to think about how they are going to work with financial institutes or work against financial institutes, and how they are going to build correlations so that they can amass enough customers and influence to stay alive and impact the society. Okay, and we built a platform that would enable the open innovation systems, and so that the innovators can innovate, whether it's financial institutes or fintech companies can innovate on top of the platform, but still use the platform to exchange data and services, okay? And so there are many APIs that we already built. We have more than 200 APIs for the basic services, but also have additional 200 APIs for the data. But some of the data actually belong to other companies, but can be made available on the platform, okay? And we have been working with other companies. These are the recent work that we are working on, including agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, and logistic companies, and the IC channel companies, etc. So you can see that most of these are not financial institutes. And And they all have the potential to provide the financial services in the future. And that's what's scary, okay? And this is our latest effort on the regional revitalization, 地方创生, okay? And our goal is to help the small company, farmers, and stores in the remote area to help them to get to the market, to get to the channel. So we use the platform to connect them to the company ESGs so that we can help company to better contribute to the society, at the same time help the regional revitalization. And this is one of the showcase that we have. It's a social enterprise, which we've helped them to build the first herb blockchain and use this to enable multiple services and etc. So since my time is up, so I think I will just stop here. And here are some of the areas that I think are going to disrupt the fintech, the financial industry, and most likely not by the financial industry. So, and I think, joining the open ecosystem is one way for a financial institute to overcome some of the barriers or challenges, especially the cultural challenges for overcoming, getting into the totally different segments that they don't serve before. And as you can see, almost all the financial services are listed here that are going to be changed by AI, blockchain, plus the other technology and innovative business model. Okay, so that's my report. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. Now that we have finished all of our keynotes, I believe that these informative speeches from leaders of industries and academia surely encourage everyone. Hopefully, we look forward to the continuous development of the fintech industry. Okay, before we move to our panel discussion, it is with great pleasure to introduce the moderator of this section of the agenda. We would like to welcome Professor Yan-Ning Chen, who is the Deputy Director of Fintech at NTU. Yeah, the stage is yours.
Sorry. Okay, how? Okay. Yeah. First, I would like to invite the three keynote speakers to come with me to start the panel discussion. Yeah. Professor Han, Professor Xie, and Professor Wang. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think all the three keynote speeches are excellent. I think they explain the environment and the challenge faced by the fintech firms in Taiwan, and also their lecture give very insightful clues for what the fintech firms should do. So I have a question for each of the keynote speakers. So I think I'll start from Professor Han. Okay. Yeah, Professor Han, you talk about okay, here. You talk about the challenges for fintech firms in Taiwan, such as the strict regulation, such as that the limited size of B2B markets, and the high customer acquisition cost in the B2C markets. And so, what do you think that these fintech firms should deal with these challenges? What are your suggestions for them?
Okay, thank you very much for these questions. To be able to answer these questions, that's the reason that I put some cases to show there existing possible ways to overcome this. For example, like those two companies, Net and Growing, they basically are quite globalized. So they realize their customers should be within the globe. So, okay, and then of course they create a very a convenient platform so that they can reach out some expertise. For example, some physicians like doctors and even nurses, etc. And so they can able to efficiently match those needs of those expertise and customers, potential customers. So for example, like during the pandemic, so they receive a lot of questions overseas. Of course, those are Chinese-speaking customers. Right. But even though this is a big market for them as well. So I think globalization, to be able to, with a view of global view, is quite important. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So my first question for Professor Xie is that you mentioned that financial institutions have to undertake digital transformation due to the fierce competition from the technology firms. And how can fintech firms help in this transformation process?
Okay, thanks for the questions. So as I mentioned, because the NCCU is very close to the financial service institution, and so we think they all face a very severe challenges now, and due to the cultural difference, it's hard for the traditional financial institution to adopt this new technology without disrupt others' original business. So I think one important role that fintech startup can play is that they can use their innovative product to help the traditional financial institution to set up new channels. Okay, I think that is much easier than the traditional financial institution to set up their own digital transformation teams. I think that there's one very difficult issues in financial institutions. It's very hard to define the performance for the new divisions because it's so different than the previous performance evaluation criteria. So I think fintech startup should focus on these issues. They try to find out the pain point of the traditional financial institution and try to find their role in these digital transformations.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and my first question for Professor Wang is that you talk about the barrier for providing inclusive financial services. How can fintech firms collaborate with financial institutions to lower this barrier? Could you explore more? Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, any fintech companies, they want to have competitiveness. In today's world, they need to have data and customers. And these two are most difficult to get, especially for startups. So collaborating with the existing companies, whether it's financial or non-financial institutes, will help them to get this too. So this is essential for them to collaborate with the others. And if they cannot acquire data, regardless how good their technology is, they cannot have impact. So this is a very key challenge. On the other hand, I think the financial institutes need to adopt their traditional view because most of these fintech companies are small. They have some great ideas maybe, but their technology may not be stable, may not be mature compared to what the financial institutes are used to. So they need to change their model to allow for changes so that they can provide different services, particularly to the customer they don't serve before. before.
Yeah.
So this changes need to come from both sides.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my second question for Professor Han is that I think in developing fintech industry in Taiwan, I think academia should play a very important role. I think according to your experience in Tsinghua University, what are the critical contributions universities and research institutes can make in the developing the fintech industry in Taiwan? Yeah.
Thank you. This is I think it's a good question that we often deal with some companies and talk to them, try to understand their business strategy and so on. And then we realize that sometimes they are, if they, from the technology point of view, if they can upgrade themselves, this could be helpful for them. To be some sort of like killer application for them as an icon for the company. I think this is sort of could be useful for their image disputing issues. And of course, those technologies may be related to some professors' expertise, but professors usually they don't have business in mind.
Yeah.
They don't know how this technology should be driven to. And this is where those startups, companies, they can help us to adjust our research direction to fit into their need. So I think that the most interesting process of doing this industry academia collaboration is through a process of discussion and to see the progress between the two. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. My second question for Professor Xie is that I think a critical question for many fintech startups that how to find a successful business strategy. So what do you think, what are the successful business strategies for fintech startup? How can they find these strategies, good strategy? Yeah.
Thank you. This is a very good questions. I think in NCC, we have more than 30 startup members. So we know what these startups needs. So in the past, I think we saw a lot of good startups. They have good technology, good talent, but it's very hard to get the market. I think in the talk I mentioned, the hardest part is the customer acquisitions. So customer acquisition, the difficulty can due to regulation or due to the characteristic of the financial service. So I think that one good strategy is to cooperate with a traditional financial institution because they have existing customers and they know they face a severe challenge from digital transformation. So I think the one good way for the startup is to understand the pain point of the financial institutions and find a way to cooperate with them. So then there's one easier way to have their successful path. And also, I think financial institutions get used to cooperate with big service integration companies. So I think also the staff can try to find a business partner with the big system integration company. So that will easier for them to get connected with financial institutions.
Okay.
Okay, this is my suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And my second question for Professor Wong, it's a broader question. I mean, I think the fintech industry in Taiwan is growing fast, but however, it's not growing as fast as some people expect. So I think maybe, I think in the developing the fintech industry, I think financial institution plays a very important role. So in your view, what kind of changes or what should the financial institution in Taiwan do to increase the speed of growth of Taiwan's fintech industry?
Okay. So first of all, Taiwan does not have a fintech industries.
Okay.
We have many startups, but no industry.
Okay.
Okay. And regulatory requirements because no fintech company can provide financial services, period.
Okay, so that's regulation.
And also the incumbents are not willing to collaborate.
Yeah.
There are several difficulties, and some of them are understandable, because if you are going to collaborate with the financial institutes, you need to spend at least a year in working with them to really become a partner. Okay, so, and that's a challenge. Okay, so Professor Xie's suggestion to work with the existing SI is a potential shortcut. Okay,
Yeah.
but on the other hand, that means it's still very difficult, because the financial institutes are not willing to endanger their existing business to provide new services. So that's another thing that need to be overcome.
Yeah.
So my suggestion to the financial institute is that you have to look at the future, right? The future is coming, whether you like it or not. You have no power to stop it. So if you don't adapt, then you will disappear, right? So that's something that they need to think long and hard.
Yeah.
And by having the digital financial department, is not the solution, because internal innovation is extremely difficult in a well-established brick-and-mortar company. That's why most of the disruptive innovation in those companies fail.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So working with outsider with an arm's length open innovation is the solution, the only solution. But it requires a lot of convincing for them to adopt that mentality, which is also very difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. So my advice to the fintech company is several things. One, think big, start small, move fast. Okay. And there's no killer application. If you try to implement killer application, you will die before you are successful. You need to adapt your model very fast to the needs of the market. Only by trying you can figure out whether the model is killer or not. So you need to try very fast. And you also need to think global, because we, unfortunately, have an industry that moves very slow. And financial industry, by general, move very slow. But Taiwan's financial industry move even slower than global movement.
Right.
So this is a very scary thought. Yeah. So we need to move much faster by convincing the financial industry to self-help. You are not helping your future competitors. You are working with people who can help you to adapt to the future. Because financial institutes have money, funding, right? Customer, data. In this collaboration, they will gain the most, not the least.
Yeah.
But if they don't try to collaborate, they will die. Very simple.
That's right. That's
Okay? Thank you.
But do you think, is there anything that the government can do to facilitate the...
Government can encourage. So far, government had not tried very hard to encourage the financial transformation.
Okay.
Because they want the stability, which is another low block for innovation. Right? So government need to start to look at the competitiveness of the nation as a whole. If we don't change, as we can see, the decentralization also have another effect, which is cross-border. So the future of finance will be open, decentralized, cross-border.
Right.
So the threats that are outside of our border will become our threat very soon. So from the country perspective, we need to prepare for that as well. So we need to deregulate. We need to have, in order for the financial industry to move, we also need to have a limited license for fintech companies so they can legally provide limited set of financial service to the customers to deal with the section that the traditional financial service either is too expensive to provide service or too slow or difficult to provide. So from that perspective, then we will have some agent or changes that will come from the startups. And then the financial institutes still have lots of defense. They have money, they can buy this company. they can adopt this model and help them by helping themselves. So this will be good for our financial industry. So this kind of collaboration need to happen. And FSC has the responsibility to do that. Okay, and I'm happy to see that there is a roadmap for fintech that the recent the appointed chairman have adopted. In 2 years, they will issue limited license. But 2 years is a long time. I hope to see that in 6 months rather than 2 years,
right,
because we don't have 2 years to wait. Okay, and across the globe, everybody is moving fast. We got to move at the internet speed. Okay, not financial speed.
Okay,
thank you.
That's right. Thank you. Professor Xie and Professor Han, do you have any comments or thoughts about this question? I mean, the question is how do Taiwan's financial institutions and the government can do to facilitate the growth of the fintech industry?
Yeah, I think a quick response to that, because I think NCCU is focused on the open banking. We are working with our government to set up new standards. So I think a lot of financial institutions and TSP have joined the alliance, and I hope the related fintech company can also join this alliance. Hopefully with more participants, we can moving forward, maybe at internet speed.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Professor Han.
Okay, thank you. This is extremely critical questions for the development of finance, actually. So the government and related to these institutions as well, I think they know already this is a great opportunities right there. For example, we know about all these political situations like Hong Kong. You are facing a global market. There's no better time than ever. Now we have. But the question is, what exactly what you want to do? As President Wong already mentioned, so the government know all about this, but they have to put some resources into those SME in particular, encourage them to move quicker, to adapt to the market, to have their innovations, and eventually build up a financial center, a real financial center in Taiwan. Just like Singapore. Look at what Singapore is doing. They're moving internet speed. So that's exactly what we should seriously think about. There's a way, clearly there's a way to do it. So it matters how these governors, exactly what we like to do.
Thank you for your insightful thoughts. Okay, I think our time is up. So really thank the three keynote speakers to give us so nice opinions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have now completed our panel section, and we highly appreciate all the insights. Now, I would like to ask all of our speakers to please remain on the stage while we prepare for the next section. At this point of time, I would like to remind you to subscribe to this YouTube channel and to make sure that the bell icon is turned on so that you don't miss out on our exciting events in the future. Okay, we are going to have our pitch demo section now. And we are pleased to welcome a couple of pitching teams from universities who are eager to show their developments. Our first 4 teams are Authme, Bassett, Retailing Data Enterprise, and ThinkCloud. The first team is Authme. Please, the stage is yours.
millions of dollars are lost because banks cannot tell you are you. Hi, we are Ming. I'm CMO Kuo Chen, and we are here to help everyone defend your digital identity. Before starting, I would like to talk a little bit about ourselves. So this is our project to prevent the pandemic from spreading. And we built a face mask vending machine using our solution to help everyone get their mask efficiently and evenly. And this is just one of the scenarios that our solution can help. And this is our team. Along with our decades of experience in software development and business operation, we also have deep background in cybersecurity. Our CTO, Dalton, recently helped find a critical IT system loophole in our government system and reported to our digital minister, Audrey Tang Feng, and to help fix the problem. And combining with our variety of our experience, we help everyone defend your digital identity. So do you know current AI technology can impersonate any gender, emotions, ages, and even races? And today, to see is not necessary to believe. This is a great example of to see is not necessary to believe. A lot of people have heard of deepfake. And in this video conference, their colleagues are trying to make a joke on them by joining as a deepfake Elon Musk. As you can see from their facial expression, the joke seems to work pretty well.
I Elon Musk.
But imagine if today it's a CEO asking their employee to transfer a huge amount of money to some fishy account they never heard of. And it already happened in our real world.
Nice. Thank you.
And to demonstrate how difficult it is to identify a real person, I would like to invite everyone here to join me to take a little test. Can you tell which one is taken by real person? For those who think it's figure 1, please raise your hand. And for those who think it's figure 2, please raise your hand. Okay. Congrats if you choose figure 2. But no worries if you got figure 1, because it actually takes quite some experience and luck to actually make the right call. And no worries, we're already helping enterprises making right calls. And with technology like this, that's why current verification process cannot meet the demand of regulation, causing enterprises like banks to be exposed under huge compliance risk. And also, because the current process relies heavily on human reviewers, incurring high reviewing cost. And last but not least, it just takes too much time. The longer it takes, the higher the possibilities the customer are going to drop off from the service you're applying for. So don't worry, OVMI can help. And how we do it, we leverage our deep learning trained model and also our biometric ID authentication technology to make sure the user possess authentic biometric ID, and we will use the data stored inside the ID to compare it to see if the user is who they claim to be by using our facial recognition and liveness detection technology. And with such solution, we'll be able to tell you are you, and instead of a deepfake Elon Musk. And with our solution that can be done in only 3 minutes, we'll be able to help improve user experience by saving 90% of the application time and also saving 70% of the enterprise's cost on manual reviewing. And most important of all, we'll be able to help enterprises to comply with regulation with ease. And this video demonstrates how our liveness detection system works. And comparing to Face ID, we don't actually need a special sensor such as structural light. Basically, almost all smartphones with front camera can run our solution. And instead of only being able to check if you have the access right to your mobile phone, we also make sure you are the account holder himself instead of anyone who knows your password or be able to access to your smartphone. So we provide our clients with two solutions. For those who wish to store all the personal information within their facility, we provide them on-premise solution. And for those who wish for a lighter solution, we will provide them SaaS solution. And comparing to our competitor, we not just focus on common facial database. We also focus on Asian ethnicity group database. And with our patent protected solution, we'll be able to authenticate ID. Also, we'll be able to defend advanced AI fraud attacks such as deepfake. And this is how we collaborate with our clients. We're currently working with financial institution and one of the largest vehicle sharing platform. And not just that, we also are collaborating with a lot of telecom company, financial institution, and even e-commerce platform as well in our sales pipeline. We're Ming. We make sure you are you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ming. The second team is Basit. The stage is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my pleasure to have this opportunity to share our company's BarsID. My name is James Huang. I'm co-founder and CEO of the BarsID. Look at the pictures. Hackers everywhere. I think today we are talking about the Fintech. We are talking about the next generation technology, blockchain AI. I think hacker is the most important issue of our whole systems. My company founded in 2017 summer times, almost 3.5 years. Our team is from Taiwan, Korea, and also Japan. You can see our logo here. First of all, I would like to talk about our key technology. Actually, our solution and the products combines 4 different technology. You can see that we have the core engines. These core engines, we will split the data and we have a very advantage encryption technology of our core engines. So we split the data and then we encrypt every data pieces. And then we will save our data in our storage environment. And this decentralized storage environment, everybody maybe hear about the IPFS. We can leverage IPFS and also Cassandra, save many different kind of the data solutions. Also, we are the blockchain companies. So we can build up the mainnet with the TPS 8000. And then we can very easily utilize the public mainnet like Ethereum or Hyperledgers or EOS. So actually, we are from the blockchain companies, and then also we are combine the biometrics, the technology like FIDO. So all those key technology combine, and then our solution and the product is focused on the data protection and also the authentication identifications. Okay, so the professor talking about the IT. I think nowadays IT development speed is I think 400 kilometers per hour, very fast. But our system really secure or not? So this is a really very critical issue of our IT next generation IT functions. So we also have some use case. So we are focused on the security, not the only blockchains. So we cooperation with the like Hitachi Sunway, and also we cooperation with Amazon. We cooperation with Amazon to provide the differentiation storage. Our customer can use in Amazon S3 API to save their data to our decentralized environment in Amazon cloud. Also Oracle, we also co-work with Oracle to serve their customer for the decentralized storage services. Okay, so this is our some of the use case. And then our product and solution can use to many different environment or something use case. The professor here just mentioned about the pain point of the enterprise. So we need to find out the pain point of the enterprise, and then we can able to provide our service. So our service also our solution also provide SaaS and also on-premium service. We can set up our solution in the customers' IDC or their own data centers. And our target market is the authentication, also financial data storage is all our potential customers. This is our competitor analyze. I think Okta is a very famous US company, also listed in NASDAQ. They also provide similar services for their customers. So I think with our technology, with our core engines, with our decentralized environment and also blockchain, we can secure the customer data, be safe. Once the hacker hack into their database, the hacker won't get original data. They only get the piece of the data. They cannot do anything. And every piece of the data was encrypted. So this is our company's core technology. So we have also a lot of the partner and also customers. So 5 minutes is very short, but I try to explain all I can do now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Boss ID. The third team is Retailing Data Enterprise. Please, the stage is yours.
Hello. Hi everyone, I'm Peter from Retailing Data, and we are smart retail industry, and our aim is to help the retailers to do digital transformation smoothly. And this is our team, and we all are energized. And our founder, he originally worked in real estate industry, but he found that there are many retailers want to do digital transformation, so they found this company, Retailing Data. And our senior managers, they all have necessary experience to lead our team. These are our mottos: sincerity and agile. And we do our best to help our clients by providing them a clear view and powerful tools to take actions. And we want to keep our product fit the market. So we use agile development. We test our products fast, and we take feedback from our users, and then we make our product better. And we want to enter the Asian market. So we started from Taiwan, and when our products become more mature in the future, we will bring them overseas to other countries. This goes to our first part of our products, the site conditions, and it relates to setting up new stores. And we use the heat map. This shows the consumption power index for the retailers to easily recognize which place has more potentials for them and where their main customers are. And we use the data such as the receipts and traffic flow data or the demographical data to make them easy to find the right place. And the second part of our product is interactions. And we want to use we want to boost the interaction in store for our retailers because our main clients are physical retailers. So this is digital signage combined with a facial recognition system. And you can imagine that when you enter a store, the first thing you see is a digital signage. But a digital signage can predict your age and your gender. And then promote the most suitable advertisements to stimulate your shopping desire. The next one is the smart magic mirror. This mirror is for the customers to try on the clothes virtually. And we want to use this system to help the customers to choose if the style fits them or not. And when they choose the right clothes, they can take the real one to try on to feel that if it fits. And we listen to the market's need, and we find our clients the most suitable artificial intelligence technology to help them to do the digital transformation. So this is marketable. And we serve the business. We serve the other business, and the business will able to serve their customers. This is our aim. And our target markets are department stores and retail chains. Okay. This is a market overview of value, and the Taiwan retail market value is about $3 trillion, and we want to claim it. This is our major clients, and the graph shows that account end in 2019. There are increasing trends for physical stores, but I believe that this year we'll have a sharp downward trend because of the pandemic. So we are trying to find another way to help our clients. Okay. And this is photos with our clients, and 68 lingerie stores, and the pharmacy stores. And we attended the CES 2020 this year, and it's a big honor, and TIE, and AIoT recently. And next year, we are going to AI Expo in Tokyo. And we're honored to be selected as a top 10 artificial intelligence providers. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Retailing Data Enterprise. The number 4 speaker is ThinkCloud. Please, the stage is yours.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Antonio, and I'm from ThinkCloud. So I have, pretty much, if I make a quickly question here, most of us, or if I don't say, 100% of the people here have applied for a bank account. But if I ask how many of you have applied online for a bank account, I believe in Taiwan it's pretty much nobody. So when what is the reason of this? It's because when we do business, pretty much it's we trust on people. And one way of trusting people is also, and to seal the deal, is through contracts. So in that way, I can have the best evidence in case of any problem. So that's why in self-design, what we do is signing contracts and trust people. So what do we do is pretty much we are the only one e-signature solution that can verify before and after who is the signer. And at the same time, we can give the evidence of that. So traditionally, what we do is sign PDFs, and then how do we verify the signatures on electronic documents? So pretty much this is impossible. So what we give is this solution. And what we want to do is change the way that we are signing contracts today. One way of signing this is like, and what our mission is to become the most trustworthy platform to sign agreements online. So to explain what do we solve, pretty much this is the journey of a person when he goes to the bank. So pretty much they can apply for loans online, but then at the time of sealing the deal, pretty much they had to send you the form to your house to sign. So what is the problem of receiving the paperwork? So receiving the paperwork, pretty much you have lack of authentication. So in this journey, you don't know who is the person who's going to sign. And then this one will create a high risk. So high risk creates problem of integrity of the document. So what does it mean, these problems in financial institutions? So just last year, all over the world, there were 10 billion US dollars in fines just to not comply in KYC and AML. So what is this? Because pretty much account takeovers, new accounts fraud. So this is what we are trying to solve. So we're planning to give the best solution that can reduce fraud, at the same time secure the transaction, and have a better customer experience. So in that way, why they need to sign pretty much is to keep compliant. So one of the regulations in all over the countries is like to seal the deal and to keep compliant, to have approved, you need a signature. And this is how we do it. So I'm going to show this video pretty much by the using of AI technology to verify and to authenticate the person, and also at the same time uploading IDs and verify the data of the IDs. So what we will be able to do is bring this information into forms and improve the customer experience. So then what the customer has to focus on is pretty much on the service. And in the banks, what the service they provide is pretty much focused on the customers. So at that time, when they're going to seal the deal, so pretty much we are going to make sure that the right person is going to sign through a process of facial verification. So if that person is not in the financial institution, is not our customer, pretty much we will not be able to sign. So what we have done here is like in Taiwan, our product since 2016, we have, since then, we have created like a good marketing revenue, a good marketing traction. So where we sign approximately 450,000 forms per year, and we have, per month, sorry. And what we have done is like pretty much reduce just in account securities, like for example, stock market, opening an account there. So it was a process that more than 15 or 1 hour. So we reduced that to 8 minutes. And then we are saving around 10 million pages per year. So this, we have done it just B2B. And then, as we can see here, like financial institutions like Kotairo and So or Cathay Life Insurance have been using our solution in like what is insurance policies. So then Yuanta Securities, like some P2P companies, and as well healthcare institutions for the consent form that pretty much is like are required to claim insurance. So then we have been awarded like internationally and nationally here, and also with patents across the globe. So one of the most important is like the certification of the GDPR that is under EA-DAS law. And what the market means to us, like total addressable market all over the world is 25 billion US dollars. So, and last year the market size was only 1 point. So there is like a huge gap that we can still target. So our business models are for enterprises on premises based on documents, the documents that they sign, and there are some subscription-based for SaaS and for customers like small and medium enterprises. So this is a team that have a combination of like young generation and like old generation to have this experience. And pretty much this is the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ThinkCloud. Now that we have had our 4 startups presented their results and developments, we would like to invite our experts to give some comments. Please.
So I think that for the, I mean, 4 teams are all very interesting, and apparently they also have lots of customers already. So I think that's good. And I think for the first team, of me, basically, I think for basically against the fraud, basically fraud detection, etc., it's like an arm race because your opponent are not going to stay just at where they are. They are going to use the AI techniques to try to, once they know your technology, they will try to overcome yours. So how do you respond to those kind of challenges? I think it's important to keep your differentiations, yeah. And I would like to hear later what you think about that question. And I think for basing, Basel is, I mean, this is an important question, and how do you safely store the data and scale in a scalable way? And I'm interested about your IP management, because you didn't mention your IP. Because some companies have IPs in this area, so how do you get around those IPs? I think that would be critical when you start to grow. Okay, and for the retailing, I think your biggest challenge would be your customers are all in declining, right? So how do you help them, especially with the no-touch economy that's going to become part of our life? How do you help your customers to adapt? So not just, you know, like in minor ways, but, you know, how do they adapt to their business? How do they adapt to the new reality? Maybe your opportunity, I think, yeah. And for the Think Cloud, I think this seems to, yours seem to be doing fine, right? But how do you grow your business, and particularly internationally? And there are some competitors out there, and they seems to be using similar models. You say you are unique, but I actually, you know, have seen similar things before. So, you know, how do you expand your business globally? I think that would be challenges. And also, how do you legally, you know, how does the signature with video stand by and code? That's another things I would like to know. Thank you.
Thank you. I think those are for those are basically taking the B2B business model. So your customers are basically corporations, and three of them are working on data securities and authentications. So I'm not, since I'm not an expert of that, but so I can imagine that. So there's no unique way of keeping securities, right? So since each of you have some specialty, so as a corporate, I might want to use multiple most of them, each of them as a multiple check, right? So that's what I think. So maybe how to use horizontally collaborations between each of you. So may provide a better service for corporations.
Okay, I think I heard the presentation. They all quite promising. I think three of you are actually our NCCU startup members. So I think you all address significant pain point for financial institutions. So I think the key step you need to do is to find how to cooperate with financial institution. For example, for eKYC process, or digital identity, or information security. Because for new channel, they will be more digitalized. So I think for how can you use some technology to secure the new channel, digital channel, make the financial service is viable, is very important. So I think I will suggest you to find a way to cooperate with a financial institution, because I think the key client will be be this traditional financial institution. And maybe you can cooperate with NCCU. It's the best way to have good dialogue with these financial institutions.
Okay, thank you once again. We have finished the first phase of pitch demo. Please return to your original seat. Okay, now, please welcome the next 4 startups: Credited Incorporated, Carbo, CryptoGo, and iCards. Okay, so the first team is Credited Incorporated. The floor is yours.
Hello everyone, I'm Vincent, the CEO and co-founder of Credited, 水滴. As the name suggests, Credited, we are doing credit scoring from big data. Instead of the credit you can let you to borrow some money, we are building a credit system that you can use every day in life. So we are a bunch of data scientists who work in AI industry for more than 20 years combined. And like we work in big hedge fund like Quant, Point72, and giant tech company like Gogoro, Fengwo, Booking.com. And last year we come back to Taiwan and we realized there are lots of things can be done in fintech industry in Taiwan, but everybody is doing third-party payment. Taiwan Pay, Lai Pay, Jaco Pay, even Shopee is doing a pay right now. So everybody is doing pay, but there's another very important dimension, credit, and they haven't been built yet. And there's something we can do. So we decide, okay, let's go back to Taiwan and let's build this company and let the data and technology owned by Taiwan and stay in Taiwan. So we built this Credited. We're building a new dimension credit system. So how do we do it? Our core technology is federated learning. It's a AI model structure that you can get the result from different data sets without while protecting user privacy. So we are using open data. We are connecting with open banking. We're using invoice data and my data, and also we ask user to upload some own data. Combined with those dimensions, we give you a credit score. So imagine this, you just download the app called Credited, and you will get a score. And with this score in your phone, your life will be much easier. When you want to rent something, you don't need to put down the deposit or put down your ID passport. Just use your cell phone, scan the QR code, and use your fingerprints to authorize it. Or when you buy something, you can bring the item back and try it for 7 days and pay after. Or you are finding a roommate. Now you don't have to ask all the questions to do the background check to find out whether you can trust him. You can just ask, show me your credit score. So it will be much easier. So it works. This is not just story we tell. It already happened all around the world. In United States, Credit Karma just sold their company for $7.1 billion earlier this month. 芝麻信用 in China, that's the reason why Ant Tech Group was so much money. And last year in Japan, Line just released Line's Go, and they reached like 3 million users in 5 months. So it works. And now it's our turn. With the open data in Taiwan and the rising of sharing economies, and also the support of government, we believe now is the time we can build something like this in Taiwan. We are the first mover. we have the technology, we have patents on it. We already partnership with banks, with the service provider, rental service provider to build the ecosystem. But still, it's a long way to go. As the Professor Wong mentioned, we dream big, but we start small. So how do we start? We build an app that helps you to manage all your invoice. And then earlier next year, we will connect the open banking will become one of the best personal finance manager, PFM. And with our core technology, federated learning, we can get everyone a useful credit score to use in everyday life while protecting your privacy. With Credity, we not just talk, we delivered. So last month, we released our app called Credity Wallet, or in Chinese called 水滴发票 in App Store. And later this month, we'll release on Google Play. So what's the difference? There are already a lot of invoice tools, right? But we bring AI technology into your everyday life. So with 水滴发票, you can just even the traditional invoice, you can just scan and check out if you got the part. And also, we have AI technology help you do the everyday finance tool. So after release, we are reaching 30% weekly growth every week. It's pretty good metrics, growing exponentially. We reach rank 2 in 3 weeks. There's a typo over there. So in 3 weeks. So this is just the beginning. We start small, but we dream big and we move fast. So we are looking for banker if you want to connect the open banking. We can talk about it. We are looking for investor if you can give him money. And we are looking for user. Next week, the invoice part will be released, and try to download 水滴发票 on App Store and also on Google Play and try that and give us feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Credited. The second team is Carbo. Please, the floor is yours.
So hi everyone, my name is Connie and I'm the co-founder of Carbo Technology. In this presentation, I'll tell you about what Carbo is and where we're going. So these are the 4 most common offers that banks give out to their customers. And here's the question. Which is the best one that helps your company gain the most customers? And which is the best one that suits your personal shopping needs? Well, actually, there isn't a definite answer because one single offer is consisted of more than a dozen determinants. And these determinants are ever-changing. They might include the shopping channel, the date, and time. The more advanced ones even limit your personal identity. Also, we're seeing that banks are investing in a lot of resources into just releasing one single offer. This is where Carbo comes in. We've developed an exclusive data framework that organizes and computes the offer data factor by factor. With our exclusive data framework, we're able to do a thorough quantitative analysis on these qualitative data and do it instantly. Now, you might think, isn't it just listing out all the determinants and do a little computation? Well, actually, no. You can't just hire a bunch of engineers and do the same thing as we do. Because if you look into the data, you'll see each bank actually has this unique way of describing and defining all these offers. So a simple giveaway like ice cream could have more than 10 versions of this depiction. And also the determinants definition also varies from bank to bank. Also the data format as well. But we did it. We've built a general and universal data format that compute and analyze these crazy and messy data. The highlight of our engine is the utility. It benefits not only our users, but also the Department of Consumer Finance in banks, online and offline retailers, and in mobile payment systems. How, you might ask, can we achieve this grand goal? The first step is the LineBot. It's a digital payment offer search tool. So based on our engine, this LineBot will help our users to search their personal offers by product category and the store name. The user has hit 9,000 already, with a profile being 25 to 45 of age. The thing about our 2C product is the special offer partnership, where we will apply our user data into precision marketing, bringing the right customers to the right store. This is a story where everybody is happy in. The users are happy because they are getting extra offers that they want that meet their shopping preference. The stores are happy because they are getting more customers without no additional cost. Carbo will be happy too because we're gaining traffic. And as we gain more traffic, the easier it is for us to acquire more partners and more users, thus creating a snowball effect. This is when we shall move on to the next step, the to-B software service. So the problem we're dealing with here is the shopping cart abandonment problem. We all know how big of a deal it is. So what we do is to pack our entire engine into an API and embed it on the checkout page of online stores. In this way, the customers will see personalized offer recommendation when checking out. This method has shown to effectively boost the user experience and the conversion rate on the website. The other interesting thing we can do with our engine is the technical interface with mobile payment businesses, such as Line Pay or JCO Pay. So it goes like this. Once a user makes a purchase, the mobile payment company that we're partnering with only have to send us 3 information: the card type, the price, and the shopping channel. Carbo will then send back to the company among all the cards bound on the user's account, which is the best one for that certain scenario. This will largely increase the user experience of the mobile payment companies. So the advantage of our business model lies in the ability within each sector to form a multiplicative effect. So actually each division will help each other's growth. Our competitive advantage lies in the versatility and scalability of the engine. Last but not least, this is our team. Most of our co-founders major in electrical engineering at NTU, National Taiwan University, having the coding ability to swiftly respond to market changes. And I think this concludes my speech. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Carbo. The third team is CryptoGo. Please, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. There's been amazing keynote speakers and amazing teams, and I'm very excited to be here today to share you what we have to offer. I'm Larry from CryptoGo. CryptoGo is a leading solutions provider for KYC AML and customer due diligence. So we use an advanced DD search engine to help financial institutions identify customers that have high risks of money laundering. Okay, so our CEO and founder, Corden, he personally experienced this pain of know your customer when he was the general manager at Copenhagen. So Copenhagen was the first free, no exchange fee cryptocurrency exchange in the world. And he has also extensive experience in many large-scale applications, such as also Dexon, which was the fastest blockchain in 2018. And it was backed by IDG Capital. Our CFO, Steve Yang, is a fellow of the Hong Kong Fintech Association, and he has been key in introducing partnerships in the financial industry. And our regulations officer is Prosecutor Joanne Ching. She is very respected in the AML space, and she's also the founder of Raphael firm, which is a benchmark firm for AML consulting in Taiwan. So with the rise of financial assets, that's becoming very, very diverse. There's many different financial assets right now. The volume of regulatory change has increased dramatically. And that's why the regulation space and the RegTech industry has exploded. So let me give you an example of how a KYC works. So let's say that you want to open a bank, an OBU, or even as simple as applying for a credit card. You will be faced with, even at the same bank, you would be faced with form after form of KYC that you have to fill out, KYC forms that you have to fill out. And what's interesting is that only 26% can complete this process in 2 hours. And 89% of the corporate clients aren't interested, are dissatisfied with their banks and their KYC processes. And as a result, 13% go to other bank institutions because they're dissatisfied with this process. So banks are losing lots and lots of clients in this process. So what does a KYC process look like? Whenever a bank provides a financial service to a client, the analyst from the bank, they have to search for the name for the client, to go through sanction list, to check if they are politically exposed persons, and check for adverse media that's associated with money laundering. And especially in Taiwan, there's a common thing is that people have the same first and last name. So if for very unfortunate reasons you have the same name as someone, for example, someone with the same name has committed financial crime, sold drugs, then the analyst will have to spend a lot of time proving that you aren't the same person as the one mentioned from the data source. So normally they have to go through each data source and prove that. If they can't do that, the bank actually has to call up the client and ask them questions as obscure as, hey, I saw your name on a certain article. Are you the one who killed that person, or are you the one who sold that drug? So as you can imagine, these clients won't respond very kindly, and they may turn to other financial institutions for services. Now, in Taiwan or in the world, most financial institutions, they use Dow Jones, they use WorldPoint, but they're extremely expensive. So in Taiwan, most local financial institutions, they use TDCC. These systems, they have several flaws. First is that they only provide raw data. So as I've said, these analysts, they need to provide reports for each client, and they can only process English data. So our solution is our engine can correctly identify the name, the problem I stated, the people with the same name, and they cross-reference thousands and thousands of data. And what's more is that we can process Chinese language. So the data coverage is what differentiates us from our competitors. We are an all-in-one platform. We provide know your KYABC, know your address, know your business, and know your customer. So we do that process, the KYC process automatically. We automatically generate the report and scanning for dynamic global sanction lists. We do the risk reports and data visualizations. So our data coverage covers over 23 million credit data and over 12 million personnel. Our techno infrastructure maximizes the security for banks, but also not sacrificing the scalability. And we use data visualizations to help banks efficiently to identify risks. Our market size, like I said, the red tech industry is exploding now. Let me skip to the last slide. So we're currently expanding our team, development team, and we want to expand to markets such as the financial centers such as Hong Kong and Singapore. In Taiwan, we're already doing POCs with banks, and we have already a lot of paying clients in the virtual asset provider industry, so like cryptocurrency exchanges and cryptocurrency wallets. So I would like to invite you to join us. We're on that end of the corner. So if you're interested in our model, you're welcome to come talk with us. And we invite you to come and join us to empower financial institutions to provide a better client customer experience and build a trusted financial industry for the future. All right, thank you.
Thank you, CryptoGo. The very last team is ICOT. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay, we are AI Cards. It's my pleasure to introduce our platform, DoQuant, for you. AI Cards is established on October 2019. Our team members are from various fields with different domain knowledges. Our goal is clear: to offer investors a better way to deal with challenges in the financial market. First of all, DoQuant is a marketplace for investors to both provide and subscribe trading strategies here. We use distributed computing system to provide a strong environment and a lot of data for users to do backtest and paper trade online. Moreover, as as a bridge between strategy providers and subscribers. We transport trading and risk control signals with a stable and fast communication way to ensure all signals will be received after they are sent. Also, we promise to cope with each payment on the platform with the highest security levels. On DoQuant, you will have two roles here. If you have a lot of unique investment ideas, you can be a strategy provider here. DoQuant, as a strategy provider, DoQuant is not just a platform for you, but also a stage. You are able to share your investment ideas and transfer them into trading strategies, and then do the backtest and paper trade online, and make them into a product. The strategies you develop will be well known for excellent performance and attract much more subscribers. Imagine that from then on, you will own a community with thousands of followers. DoQuant gives you an opportunity. DoQuant gives you an opportunity to win both wealth and fame here. And as a normal investor, DoQuant help you keep up with financial market and get in touch with other investors. There are also plenty of trading strategies developed by experts from around the world. All strategies are classified into different risk levels and trading cycles for you to find a suitable one here. Moreover, with our auto trading system, you won't need to read the tape or those complex technical graphs. All you need to do is let DoQuant auto trade for you, and then you can enjoy your life and just go have breakfast with your family. We believe that DoQuant will give you an attractive and totally brand new lifestyle. Now, we want to show you how we transfer a strategy into signals and make orders to our virtual broker. Let's watch our demo video. And we will have a logical strategy and logical strategies. And when the tick from broker is coming, we will transfer them into signals and make orders to our virtual broker. Okay, you can see the UI, and that's the transactions record. Okay, thank you. It's my presentation. And also, we want to say thank you to Professor Yu Shidi and Professor Han Chuanxiang. They give us a lot of assistance and suggestions to build our platform, DoQuant. We hope that DoQuant could give all users a new way to get into the financial market and to trade only what they believe. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you all for sharing. We would like to invite our experts to make some comments and advices. Please, professors.
First of all, I'm not expert in these areas, but I have some questions. I think, all four companies present actually have competitors in the traditional financial institutes and also other startups. So how do you convince your customers that your solution works and also you are the best in your lot? So I think that's something that you have to focus on, yeah. And also, what's the business model? How do you make money? That's what you need to convince the investors on. Yeah, so this, I think, something that we would like to learn more. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have only one simple question for Sui. What happens if now the invoice are all electronics? So then how can you collect data?
Oh, should I answer right now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
So actually, we do have a technology to help user to deal with all the paper invoice, right? But actually, we encourage people to use the carrier, invoice carrier. It will be much easier for user, for credit, because all the data will be uploaded by the business and will be downloaded to our server. So we will collect all the data and we'll analyze the data for the user. And we are actually doing it right now. If you download Shui on the App Store, you will realize just log into your account, carrier account. All your invoice will go into there. And with the AI analytic, you will see all your data, like how many hamburger you have last month, how many steak you buy last quarter, something like that. So that's the future we are looking to. Paper is just the temporary period.
But how do we know that your credit score works?
Oh, so it's hard. So we start small, that we provide personal finance manager first for the user. It's useful, so user like it. And later on, we will create the credit score. But we need to find someone willing to use the credit score with us. So we find several partners. They are renting like how do we call it? Charger or random like motorcycle with a small deposit. But with the deposit, the conversion rate will drop. And if they adopt credit score, their conversion rate will raise. And they will tell us whether the credit score is working. And later on, with the more data we collect, our credit score will be more reliable in the future, hopefully.
I think I'll give some suggestions to Shui Di and Zhong Liang. Okay. So I think you both address important pain point for financial institutions. But in addition to the technology you apply, you also need a lot of data. Okay, so to make your product appealing, I think you need to join the ecosystem, right? Okay, so one more advertisement time, okay? Open banking platform, you must join, yeah, because in that platform, this is the main purpose for Korea. So yeah, we want to set up that platform for you startup, so you can get resources from there, okay? And also the partner you can work with, like banks, they need a credit score, right? Or they need to have AML system. They are your customer, so you need to join the open banking platform. Thank you.
We already get a lot of help from your NCCU, and we are already a member. Good to
know that.
Thank you very much.
Any suggestion, Professor Chen? No? What about Dr. Han? That's it? Okay. Thank you so much for all our experts, Dr. Han, Professor Shi, Dr. Wong, and Professor Chen. And thank you all to our pitch speakers. A huge thanks for participating, ladies and gentlemen. And special thanks to Ministry of Science and Technology here in Taiwan for assisting, and of course, the audience on our live stream. We hope you enjoy our event this afternoon, and we will have our table booth after live streaming. If you wish to contact speakers today, please scan the QR code or click the link down below. We will make sure that your questions to deliver to our speakers. And we look forward to seeing you very soon.